Hello, and welcome to what I believe is the 8th episode of the Circles of Trust podcast. I am Connor, also known as Uriel5150, and I am joined as always by
DV, as usual.
So, first things first, sorry for not uploading anything for over a month. My body is a curse and wishes to leave this realm every day. I got really sick. I'm hopefully good now, but it was bad for a while. I'm just really grateful that I am in possession of the majority of my good health, and I have good people around me to help support me, and I'm glad to be back in front of the camera. But as a result of that, the only thing I've had time to do is play Skyrim. That's the only thing I've done while I've been recovering. So
the glitch fest that is Skyrim.
It just works. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. DV, on the other hand, has been perusing all of current media, and we're here to catch up on some things from the past 5 weeks.
Oh God! And this is not even everything. This is just some of the things that I wanted to highlight. But boy, the media has been trash lately. They just, She-Hulk just came out.
Yep.
So I don't want to watch it. I will say this right now. I do not want to watch it.
I don't either. Now, my wife, who is, shall we say, a Marvel apologist, she's not. She's critical of certain things. That's for the bit. No, she said that she heard from a lot of people that it was actually decent. But I haven't seen anything from a news outlet being like, hey, the show actually isn't terrible like it looks from every piece of media that you can consume on it for free.
Yeah, well, I looked at some reviews of the first episode from various people that I watch on YouTube, circle. And I don't want to see the Hulk. I don't want to see the Hulk be
emasculated.
Yeah. I just don't want to see it. I know some people, that's okay with some people. But the Hulk, as a character, he's how do I put this? How do I put this without being absolutely ridiculous? But the Hulk is supposed to be the Hulk, and now he's not. He's not anymore. He's something completely and utterly different. And having the smart Hulk is fine, but I feel like Mark Ruffalo's version of Banner
is played out.
Is a punk.
Yeah.
And Banner was very mild-mannered, but he wasn't a chump. Because even if the version of that we got in the MCU, the very first one.
The Ed Norton one?
With Ed Norton.
I like Ed Norton in damn near everything. But I really liked him as Bruce Banner because he was the perfect, he's a perfect blend. Hey, buddy, you're crossing the fucking line here.
He's a perfect blend.
Yeah, he's just enough of a psycho to have, that right below the surface
But because he's a psycho, that's why they were like, we need to kick this dude out. Right. He's too much of a psycho.
This is true.
And now we have Mark Ruffalo. And he was fine up until this Phase 4 thing. I would say probably Infinity War and Endgame was when he started to...
I really didn't like him in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, they chumped him out. But that was Taika Waititi that did that, though. The Russo brothers tried to bring him back, but at the same time they didn't, because he didn't even turn into Hulk in Infinity War. Well, he did. He got his butt whooped.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared. But I don't know. The She-Hulk, the clips that I've seen from it, bro, it hurts me.
We're just without trying, she's effortlessly the best at everything.
Dude, and she was like, she is better at hiding her anger than Bruce is, and all this stuff.
Yeah,
and
they made a huge point of him having to go through meditation and go into isolation for years. And
this dude has the U.S. world governments after him.
Yeah.
He was so bad. His anger was so bad, they shot him out of the planet. Just put him in a rocket and shoot his ass out somewhere else. And she's talking about herself being catcalled and people at work talking about this and that. Dude, come on, man. That is not the same.
I don't know if that's the character to be the standard bearer for issues like that. Like, pick a character that is actually relatable.
Yes.
Because this is not an every woman. This is not a.
It's not. So
Yeah.
I've read a few of the She-Hulk comics back in the day.
Right.
And she is definitely a likable character. She's actually kind of hilarious.
Everything else I've seen, like all the other pieces of media, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and like she seemed
dope.
to have a pretty like comparable personality to her
Yes.
comic book presence.
Yes, just not this version that they're doing now, because these people that are writing the show, A, don't really care about comic books. B, don't even know how to write courtroom dramas, which they admitted. They admitted this in an interview, that they don't know how to write courtroom dramas. So, they want this to be like Ally McBeal. And because it was a courtroom comedy,
Right.
It's kind of sitcom-y type.
Yeah.
They want it to be like that, but they don't know how to do the courtroom part of it. So I
would argue that the courtroom part of the courtroom comedy is real important.
it's really important.
It's actually the first letter. It's the first word.
It's
of
real
that
important
sequence.
So, She-Hulk, I will watch reviews of each episode by other people, but I will not give them the watch time.
That's the same thing you did for Miss Marvel?
Correct.
Yeah.
I will not give Disney Plus the watch time. I will give content creators the watch time and let them earn money off of my views versus Disney doing it, because
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
it is
vote with your wallet.
It's terrible. It like what they're doing to these characters is just criminal, man. It's criminal. It really is criminal, bro. They're just hardcore, just erasing them and putting their new stuff in there and hoping that people forget that these other like, versions of the character exist.
Like legacy properties that have been around for like 50, 60 years. Like, just
scrap that.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Scrap that.
Yeah.
So, enough about that BS. I do want to start off by talking about Jordan Peele.
Before you get into that,
Okay.
I actually wanted to cut in on something Disney Plus related.
Oh, okay.
That I forgot to mention.
Word.
So, Tori and I watched the first episode of The Mandalorian like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
First 2 episodes, I think. And we just never sat down to watch another one. And I was like, I've heard good things. My brother recently watched through it, said it was great. We just finished up season 1 this last week.
Mm-hmm.
And we started season 2. And it's a fantastic show, and it should be lauded for its merits. The only thing it makes me is sad that this is the best Star Wars media we've gotten since the 80s, and it has nothing to do with the characters that made the series originally shine. And that's to its strength. I'm not saying that it should, and I know that there's involvement with other original trilogy characters and all that, but it's so good. And it's been so long since I've seen a Marvel Disney property that has the setup, crisis, payoff arc. It's been so long since I literally cried during. I don't remember what it wasn't like a sad episode.
Wait till you see season 2.
It might have been the 4th episode when the Mandalorians show up. I was like, they set this up. Like,
dude,
they
wait till you
set
see
it up.
season 2. Season 2.
Yeah, we've been through, I think, 3 episodes of season 2.
Okay.
And so now we're starting to see characters from the animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And Tori has no context for any of that. So I never watched the animated series. I caught up on them the same way I catch on everything else I don't see. Watching clip compilation and everything. But seeing those characters that I now have context for because I've even had that little bit of interaction. And Tori's like, who the fuck is this? And I was like, let me explain why this is really
press pause
important.
and I'll explain the whole thing. 6 hours later, then we can go back to it.
Exactly. And it's great because like she's asking questions about it because she knows that I'm a big Star Wars nerd. It's just, it makes me so sad that this is it. This is it. Like, this is the best we're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because Book of Boba Fett came out and it was just the same shit.
Do you know why The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 are so good?
It's Kevin Feige and Jon Favreau, right?
Let's get out of Kevin Feige. this was a Jon Favreau project.
Right.
So he directed without any interference from Kathleen Kennedy, who is the she's Lucasfilm. So she was off doing other things when he did seasons 1 and 2.
Because that was during Rise of Skywalker shooting.
Around that time. She was ruining that.
Right. She had other kettles to piss in.
So Favreau was able to do his thing because he's the godfather.
He's the literal
of the
creator
MCU.
Of the
he's a smart filmmaker.
I love Jon Favreau. I love him when I see him on screen. I love him when he's behind the camera. There's a YouTube channel that I used to watch a whole bunch. Freddie Wong. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you ever see the one with Jon Favreau? Yeah. Because he was advertising for Cowboys versus Aliens. Yep. So silly, but like he's a joy. He's an absolute joy because he seems like he gives a shit about everything that he does.
He does.
And I just wanted to say that I'm catching up with The Mandalorian. I know all the big spoiler points. That's already happened for me. Tori doesn't, I don't think. But it's been a fantastic show to watch, and it just makes me mad that that's not the level of quality that all Disney properties are held to, because I have a feeling the budget for this was not as high as most of their normal properties, but the casting is perfect. The acting is perfect. The everything. There has not been a single time... I'll say this. Season 2 opened with a recurring character from the first season.
Yes.
And she had a lot more, like, jokey lines that I noticed, where she was like, oh, I'm comic relief. And I was like, ugh. And then they moved past it. They didn't stay on her for too long. And I was like, I was immediately get my hackles up. I was like, oh, fuck, they're about to Marvel this bitch. Like, this is bad. And then she just had some funny lines, and then she moved on with her life. I was like, okay, like, this is worthwhile. I don't feel like my time's being wasted.
Yeah. Dude, that show is great. Right. And with the Book of Boba Fett, Kathleen Kennedy was part of that.
Gotcha.
So there was the 2 episodes that I actually did watch had Mando in them.
Right. I heard that there was a tie-in there, and it gives like a shitload of information that you would need for The Mandalorian.
You need it.
Right.
And those were the episodes that everybody loved.
Right.
Because Favreau got to do his thing, brought his character in there. And another thing that makes me sad about Mando is that this should have been Boba Fett. Like, I feel like this was Boba Fett's story.
Yes.
Like, this should have been the Boba Fett show.
It should have been.
But it wasn't. And Mando now is cooler than Boba Fett. When Boba Fett was the ultimate bounty hunter.
He was the badass.
He was.
I remember playing the Jango Fett PS2 game. No. That shit fucking ruled. I was like, Boba Fett and Jango Fett are the coolest, man. But like Din Djarin is exactly what you want those characters to be.
Yep.
So much so that any representation you get of Boba Fett is now going to have that standard to live up to, and it's always going to fall short.
Because it
feels like Boba Fett was brought back for fan service, not in service of his character.
100%. They could have just left him in the Mando series and been done.
Yeah, because it seemed like his arc in The Mandalorian was sick.
He was dope.
I haven't gotten that far.
Old gruff guy.
Yeah,
I've been doing this forever. Like old weathered Batman type stuff.
That fucking rocks.
Yeah, so
Mufasa, I'm gonna have to send you to the gulag if you don't stop.
He is definitely all over the place, ladies and gentlemen.
I know there's lots of things for you to break, but if you could just not, that'd be cool. Yeah, I just wanted to cut in with that. I didn't mean to get in the way.
That Mando is amazing, and I'm nervous about season 3 just because I could feel Kathleen Kennedy like, oh, people like Mandalorian, let me ruin it.
There's a male main character that people identify with. What can I do about this?
Exactly.
Yeah. No, she's cartoonishly evil when it comes to her execution of how that.
She is
works.
like she is the ultimate villain. She's the ultimate villain, and this just brought me to. I know we're totally getting off subject, but
hey, that's fine. We have 5 weeks of catching up to do.
We did. So Kathleen Kennedy, there is a YouTube channel that I watch. It's called Overlord DVD, and he wears like a suit and everything, and it's really cool. Like he's like an old school villain. Even the music he has is like villainy. It's really good. But he gives you insider knowledge on stuff,
like industry takes.
Yeah, so sure. it's really good, and he has people working on the inside that will give him information. So Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones.
Oh, come here. We'll cut to this. We'll cut to you being a sweet boy. All right. New Indiana Jones.
Okay, so Indiana Jones. The new Indiana Jones, he was talking about how, like, what it was supposed to be about. And Kathleen Kennedy, of course, is in control. Because she's the head of Lucasfilm.
It's a Lucasfilm, yeah.
And what the rumor is that this is what they wanted. I don't know if it's going to end up being this way because this is just a rumor, but they wanted to have Indiana Jones and this new character in a time travel type thing, right? To take Indy back in time with this chick. Indy supposedly is going to die.
Right. I mean, that's a gimme.
In history. Like, he's going to be dead.
Yeah.
So that from that point on, it's only going to be the girl. She's going to be...
Oh, so within their story, they're writing him out of the history of their timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fucked up.
It is. And we're all hoping, like, the way he was explaining it, he's like, this is rumor, but it has been confirmed by people that he knows within.
Right.
So they're hoping that...
So it's scuttlebutt, but it's confirmed scuttlebutt.
Yeah, so we're all hoping that they don't go that route.
But that seemed... Again, I can't give anything Disney related the benefit of the doubt anymore.
You're right.
Because whatever the worst option is...
That's the one they're going to take.
That's the one they're going to go with.
Yep, you're right. And it hurts.
Writing Indiana Jones out of history entirely rather than confronting his problematic past. Because Indiana Jones is a problematic character on many levels. But...
Why? Because he's a white male and...
No, because he steals artifacts from like other cultures.
Lara Croft does it, but...
Yeah, but she's a lady.
That's the thing.
Also, Indiana Jones is like a womanizer and like, you know...
Actually...
There's a lot of... like... In the time that
he's a heterosexual male that has the opportunity to sleep with very beautiful women at times.
Because he's based on like the dime store comics, like the old school, like the 1940s style of like, this is what a man should be, honey. And then like there's a lot of like toxic masculinity stuff in there. It's not like, it doesn't ruin the character for me, but I can acknowledge like Indiana Jones is not a perfect role model. Like, you probably shouldn't live... He's got a pretty good moral compass most of the time.
I would love to live Indiana Jones's life.
Right, but, like, I'm not gonna necessarily treat all people and cultures the way that he does. And, like, that's fine. He's a piece of media. Like, that's okay.
Yeah.
But instead of interacting with that and writing him out of the timeline so you don't have to confront that because you've got a super, like, hyper PC company culture, I feel like that's probably... why they're... If I had to delve into it, I feel like that's probably their reasoning, rather than trying to interact with what could be perceived as a spotted past.
But Indiana Jones, if he's such a problem to you, just leave his property alone and let it die.
No, because
why ruin it?
But then Twitter will complain about it, and then you'll have to pull it from your streaming catalog. This way, you preserve his memory, and the harmful things that he's done never happened.
So this woman that is going to take over, she's going to do the same thing.
It'll be different.
She's going to do the same
thing. You don't understand. It'll be different.
She's going to do the same thing.
It'll be fine.
Look, this one probably will sleep with men and women. Like the way it's going to roll out.
The scandal.
Like just men and women stealing artifacts. Like all the stuff. But see, Indy, I don't know. I don't feel that way about Indy. Like...
I don't either. I'm doing this from the perspective of a Disney executive who's worried about the social media presence. I think Indiana Jones is a relatively inoffensive character.
This dude is like super inoffensive.
From my perspective.
His shits were like PG, rated PG.
Well, Temple of Doom should not have been rated PG.
It shouldn't have.
It might have.
One scene, we ripped the heart out. Like, just from that alone, it should at least been PG-13.
But like Indiana Jones, he takes relics from, evildoers and like black market dealers and Nazis and fights bad guys. Like, he's a pretty quintessential classic action hero.
Yep, he is.
But yeah, if they felt so strongly about him as a character having problems, being problematic, they could just not make another movie.
Just leave that jank alone.
I think Harrison Ford would probably thank them.
Yeah,
because that man,
he got hurt on the filming it, and they had to delay it for like 6 weeks or something like that.
He's
old,
so old, and he's been so old forever.
He was old when they did Indiana Jones 4 with Shia LaBeouf and all them. He was old then. Yeah. He was old in the
Crystal Skull was 2004.
It was something ridiculous.
Like, it was early 2010s.
And he was old when they did the new Star Wars trilogy and all. He was old, dude.
Yes. He's been old. Yeah, like he's got enough money. He was old in Blade Runner.
He was Blade Runner 2049. Yeah. He was old then.
Like, yeah, just if you don't like the property with the character that
just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. Let it.
It's not like Disney doesn't have other fucking properties they could pull a thread on and make something cool with.
They don't make anything cool anymore, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm holding them to an impossible standard because I would expect them to do the bare minimum.
God. So the Indiana Jones, that was something that happened that I heard about within the time that we've filmed the last episode, but it hurts.
I hope that confirmed rumor is wrong.
I hope so too. So far, his name is Doomcock, by the way. I'll have to pull him up on YouTube. Doomcock. Yep. So things that he's predicted that I've been listening to him for some time now.
He seems to have a finger on the pulse.
Yeah, he does. And that's the thing that scares me. What I'm hoping is they do the test screening. People say this is bullshit, and then they redo it. That's what I'm hoping.
Well, you understand they'll do the test screening for the same people that like dress up and go to like the Star Wars con every year. They're going to do test screening with fanatics to Disney, not to Indiana Jones.
Touche. You're right. So, we're all doomed, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking 50-year-olds with Mickey Mouse ears on.
Yeah, like we're all doomed.
Target audience.
We're all doomed. Indiana Jones, as we know him, is probably gone forever. Like, he's gone.
Yeah, we'll just put that as another notch on the fucking handle of the pistol that Disney's been executing their own properties with.
Yep. It's ridiculous. So, let's talk about something good. Let's talk about Jordan Peele.
How Jordan Peele has never made a bad movie? He's literally never missed? Is that what we're going to talk about?
Okay.
How he's an unparalleled filmmaker? An absolute artisan of the screen?
Okay. So.
How his Twilight Zone remake is way better than the original?
So. What he is doing to me right now.
Or is it Lovecraft Country?
Lovecraft.
Sorry, Lovecraft Country.
So, what he's doing to me is exploiting the fact that I absolutely, before Nope came out, Jordan Peele was, he just got on my nerves. And it was his fans really that got on my nerves. Just like with the NFL. NFL is coming back, ladies and gentlemen. Dallas Cowboys, their fans are the absolute worst. And I said it. And the team itself, I can let them slide, but it's the fans that ruin the whole experience for every other fan.
We them boys.
God damn.
Yeah, lose 14 games in a row on the 50th one. We them boys. Cowboy Nation, baby.
Exactly. So, Jordan Peele fans
are the same way.
They're exactly the same way. So, Jordan Peele, his debut film was Get Out. So,
it was pretty mid.
Yeah, so that had so that
most people agree it was lackluster.
That had a $4.5 million budget, and it was under Blumhouse. I love the Blumhouse studio because they do cheesy, schlocky, random shit, and I love it. Not all of it's random shit. A lot of it, some of it, like the Halloween reboots, those have been they've been fine.
Blumhouse typically, in my experience, has really interesting graphic design, CGI stuff going on. Usually.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not like the most like spectacular effect, it's like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they're like one of my favorite film studios in the horror genre, just because they tackle all types of horror.
Right. They're not just like, we're a fucking spooky ghost movie.
Yeah, they do teen horror, they do like drama horror. They're awesome. I love them. So they funded the first film, which was Get Out. Now, Get Out
was mid.
Get Out was good. It was good.
Pretty much universally. I don't think I've met anyone who was like, Get Out is bad, except for the people who are like, hey, this movie's about racism, and racism isn't real anymore. Like, those are the people that I've run into.
Yeah, they're like, right, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're trying to say here. But,
yeah, so this, it was a good movie, and I enjoyed a lot of things. I liked a lot of the camera shots that he had, like his style. You could see his style.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
He has like really clean camera work. That's how I would describe it. Like, it doesn't, it's not like Hollywood, like where it's like super like polished to the point that everything looks unnatural.
Yeah.
He just has clean camera work where everything looks crisp.
Nothing was fancy.
Right.
It wasn't fancy. Like, there was some close-ups and some weird shots, and like when they're when they showed him the little ting-ting and he falls back and he goes in. Yeah. That stuff visually is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we move on from Get Out, and Get Out, like I said, was good.
Mid.
It was good. It wasn't like they were saying that he's like the new Alfred Hitchcock. Absolutely not.
No.
But Get Out was good, and I think it came out at the right time. There's certain times that movies become better because of the time that they were released. Yes. Like, they just hit you differently at that time. We were going through,
agree.
The country was going through some things when Get Out came out.
Yeah.
So that hit hard. Everybody loved it. Cool.
Brief aside, that's why it's very funny about the timing of things. Everything Everywhere All at Once started production in October of 2016.
Good.
And they said that like, yeah, we didn't really expect this all to happen. Like, it was just kind of weird how everything sort of panned out. So people were going through some things. People were feeling things. The script changed a lot because of that. So I think it's funny, like, talking about the timing.
But when that movie came out, it was like right on time. Like, I needed that movie to come out when it did, because I was so tired of all the other bullshit that was going on. Seeing that movie renewed my faith in Hollywood. I'm like, okay, Hollywood,
because it was Top Gun Maverick, and then that. Like, that was like, oh, okay, like, movies can still be good.
Still be good. They can still be good. So we have Get Out, and then the next movie that he made was Us,
which was mid.
Yeah.
Unironically, not a great movie.
Did not like it, and
most people didn't. I've heard the people who are like, this movie is really cool, are the same people who are like, I would let Jordan Peele shit on my chest. Like, that's the typical like level of fanatic. Yeah, like, this movie's a masterpiece. Like, it's okay. It's
got
some interesting concepts. It's got some interesting, like, things going on, but it's not great.
Yeah, so my thing about Us is the people are ignoring the filmmaking itself. They're ignoring the dialogue. They're ignoring the characters. They're ignoring the cinematography, because it's a film. They're ignoring that and just going to his overall message.
Yes.
Now, his overall message, you had to goddamn research the bitch just to figure out what the hell he's trying to get across.
Right.
And people are like, no, it's like so simple. It's like right there in front of you. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. His shit is usually like, Get Out was pretty much on the surface.
I mean, the thing that made Get Out so good was that it had a very surface level like conflict, and then there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
If you want to go that
yes.
Us
was
is
not
just
like
a
that.
weird horror movie.
I wouldn't even classify that bitch as horror, but that's just me. I'm a horror fanatic, so
it's true. To me, I would classify it as a weird horror movie that I didn't understand what was going on.
yeah. So you have to dig so deep to find out the meaning of Us, and I feel like it was a boring movie to look at. It had nothing interesting, no camera angles, nothing. It was like
No, there's no standout shots.
And what's crazy about that is he had a $4.5 million budget on Get Out, which had way more interesting things going on. Like the scene where he zoomed in on the lady and she's like struggling to keep herself together and crying and like
really
great.
Memorable,
Yes.
really exciting shots.
Like showing that like the camera slightly tilted and the dude's running at him and like shit like that was awesome. So this time he has a $20 million budget to do Us, and it was under Blumhouse and Universal. So Universal was like, hey, let's get a little we'll throw some money in there.
We'll take a piece of that pie for sure.
Yep. So he has a movie studio. It's Monkey Paw. I think it's Monkey Paw Productions. I think it's called. You know, it has a little hand monkey paw. You know, stirring the coffee. It's actually really it's a cool logo. I love it. But you have a $20 million budget with boring cinematography. The visuals, I don't know, the costumes, just the way everything looked seemed cheap.
It did. It really did.
It seemed super cheap.
And again, when I say clean camera work, I would say the camera work in Us was messy. Like everything looked shitty.
It did. It really did.
In Get Out, every shot is so crisp and so clean, and like everything that you need to tell a visual story is in the shot.
It's there.
Us, it feels like it's a fucking like I Spy movie of dumb shit everywhere.
God, it's so that movie bothers me, and
people
love
it off.
Yeah,
they're like,
they do.
I love this movie,
and to me, it's not that great. And then people try to put him as one of the best horror. People try to put him up there with Alfred Hitchcock and John Carpenter and all these things. And it's like, no, he's done 2 movies at the time. He's done 2 movies. Neither one of those movies can even rank close to any Alfred Hitchcock's worst movie. It can't even touch.
Rear Window, Get Out is not.
No, it is not. Vertigo, Look, Get Out is not.
I'm just going to level with you. Rear Window, I think is Hitchcock's best movie, like 100%.
It's damn good.
That movie fucks real hard.
It's damn good, bruh.
My wife and I have this poster downstairs, and it's got all these like classic movies that you should watch together, and we're scratching them off as we watch them. Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock was on there, and I'm like, I've never heard of this movie. Ever. I'd never heard of it before.
What?
Tori had never heard of it before. I was like, fuck it, it'll probably just be some cheesy old movie, whatever. I knew it was Hitchcock, but I was like, whatever. That fucking movie, Tori and I were like, we're like, oh no.
That shit is on point.
Dude, it's so perfect because it sets up the premise. It doesn't matter even how you get to the premise. The premise is there's a man who cannot walk looking out of a window. So it shoots everything from his perspective, and you get to feel just as helpless as he does.
It is, and it's so good.
Perfect.
It's so good.
So when people are like, Jordan Peele is the new Alfred Hitchcock, I was like, fuck no. Absolutely not.
Not even close. And Us definitely shows that he is not that guy.
But he's also relatively new to filmmaking. He's got like a couple of films under his belt at this point. 3 films?
3 films now, yeah.
Right. I wouldn't expect him to be like a savant out the gate.
That's why the fans piss me off. Like
because they put him on a pedestal that he hasn't
earned it. He hasn't done enough. John Carpenter, like they're comparing him to John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, who like through blood, sweat, tears, dedication, and making simultaneously some of the worst movies ever put to film and some of the greatest.
Yeah,
his spectrum is insane,
and his budgets are like way lower.
Super
the visual effects alone on The Thing. I mean, damn.
Again, it's crazy to me, like that the Thing, the prequel that came out
Yeah, the one came out later with
yeah.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it. Winstead.
And that they said they originally shot it with practical effects, and they're like, it looks too cheesy. And then they like went back and redid it all with CG.
They had terrible special effects artists.
Right,
is what it was.
Like they didn't want to pay the money for the legends to come out and work their craft.
Because the fucking scene and the thing when the guy he has the defibrillator and he goes down and it crunches, the mouth opens up on the dude's guts. Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, watching that shit as a kid, I was like, holy shit, aliens are fucking real, and they just filmed them right there. Like, no bullshit. I thought that shit was real. It looked so awesome.
That's how I felt watching Aliens as a kid, because I watched that, I don't know, when I was like 5, I think.
People in suits, bro.
I was like, these motherfuckers are real. I
like,
will never sleep again.
So real. It looks so real. When the head like hits the ground and then the legs pop out.
Leg out and it's crawling around.
Man, come on. So Jordan Peele hasn't done anything like that.
No.
He hasn't done anything like that. So we move on to his latest one, Nope. Now I want to say this. I'll get a little bit closer. Look, Jordan Peele, I want to say I apologize. I want to tell you this right now. I do apologize. I went to see your third film, and it was awesome. I liked it a lot. There are a lot of things that I absolutely love about it. There's a few things that are a little weird, but all in all, you proved to me that you can do it, and you can make it fun, you can make it suspenseful, and you can actually tell a cool story. So I want to say I apologize to you, Jordan Peele, for shitting on you for so long. But your fans still are assholes. But you as a filmmaker, I can see the progression now. Like, if you keep doing movies like this, you will be a directorial megastar. I will say that. So
I don't apologize for a fucking thing. Get Out was mid, all right? Because racism's not real anymore. Get with the program, Jordan. All right?
So we move on to Nope. So Nope is exclusively through Universal Pictures. It has a $60 million budget. And it was good. It was damn good.
So, talking about it without spoilers first.
Yep.
I haven't seen any critical review of it that was like, this was a bad movie. Like, out and out.
Yep.
Like, I'm impressed because even Get Out did originally have its detractors. Mm-hmm. Where they're like, it's leaning too heavily on the race card. And it was like,
that's what the movie is about.
That's the story.
Yeah, that's the story. That's the story he wanted to tell.
So I don't. Okay, cool. Just even from the trailers, the way that they set it up, I'm surprised they put as much into the trailer as they did.
Believe it or not,
I know that there's a lot that's not in there.
Yeah, but they do reveal a lot.
They reveal a ton in that trailer, which I think is a problem with a lot of modern trailers.
Yes.
I was genuinely surprised because all I've seen are the trailers, and then I had a bunch of notifications pop up in my feed that were like, let's talk about the new Nope movie and how fucking rad it is. I was like, yeah, let's see what people are saying. And it was just like, this amazing. Yep. I was so blown away. Like, there's this one scene that like will haunt my nightmares forever, and I don't want to live here anymore. This sucks.
Yeah, like
so yeah, it was it was very interesting to see. He came out with a good movie that was polarizing for the message that it was trying to send. He released a bad movie that was polarizing because nobody could figure out the message it was trying to send, and they released a good movie that was good. Full stop.
And a lot of shit was pretty much on the surface. Like, you could watch it without, like you said earlier, you can watch it without digging any deeper and still have a good time and know what the fuck was going on.
Which I think is really important for a movie like that.
It is.
It's dealing with a very abstract concept.
It is. And one thing about monster movies, because this is a monster movie.
It is.
It's a monster movie. So the thing I hate about modern day monster movies is that they want to tell you everything about the monster.
Yep. They tell you where it came from. They
why
tell you
here.
When the first time they saw it was, how that first interaction went, how much damage the thing caused, what its like scientific name is. They've done autopsies on it.
Yep, we don't want to know all that shit.
They know that
bro.
It's really strong in this environment. Like, it's just so much fucking information.
Yep, we don't want to know all that shit.
Don't tell me. Show me why I should be afraid of this thing.
Exactly.
Show me what makes this a problem and a threat to the characters in the story you're trying to tell.
Yep.
From what I understand, Nope does that really well.
Oh, it does. It does. There's some moments in it that are unnecessary, though. There is a character. He's a film director that is in this.
Okay. Yep.
His character is unnecessary. They could have took that dude out of it, and it would have been fine. Like, we could have had pretty much the exact same outcome.
I heard people like praising him as part of the movie.
His voice is cool. He's a fucking shit character, though. Like, you think he's gonna be badass, and it's the setup and payoff.
Right.
His payoff was trash.
Gotcha.
So he's set up to be this guy who's gonna help them film the creature so they can make this money, and he's like he likes to do.
He's a world-class documentary.
Yeah, like
does war zones.
Yeah, for Predator. He films a lot of Predator and Prey type shit. So this was like the perfect thing for him. So we were like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. They have all this thing set up, and they were like, well, spoiler alert, y'all.
Now we're getting into spoilers.
Spoilers. Spoilers. Now, this film director, his character was okay at first. So he films predators, and this thing obviously is a predator. And he's thinking, because when the thing comes around, your electronics don't fucking work anymore. Like, just the nature of where it comes from.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, that's cool. I use my old wind up. So we're like, okay. So he's going to be the dude. Bro. We get to all of this cool shit. Like, the climax is getting there. And this fucking dude is the worst. Like, he is he ended up being a horrible character. Do you want me to tell you, or because I can leave it at that?
Well, I actually, again, it's not one that I'll probably see.
Okay.
Just because of how I feel about movies that are spooky.
Okay.
But I've already gone through like all the synopsis, plot point stuff, so
okay.
I'm all caught up.
So you know that he
sacrificed.
He didn't really sacrifice himself.
Right,
he killed himself.
Right.
And it sucks up the camera with him, so
Yep.
there's no fucking footage. So what are you doing? I could see if you were filming it from a distance, like getting close enough to film it from a distance that you wouldn't get sucked up in there. He goes like right up under it and starts filming. It takes you both there. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It was the dumbest shit ever. Dumbest shit.
So was that your primary gripe with the movie?
That was one of them.
What was the other one?
The other one was, okay, so I discussed this with my homeboy Wildebeest, who I usually go see all movies with. So we discussed this, and I got his point of view from it, which helps me fill in the gaps of anger of why something happened. So thank you, Wildebeest, for kind of clarifying some stuff.
So like how in Prey, the whole movie's
we were going to talk about Prey.
We're not
going to talk about Prey.
We're not going to talk about
that hurt. We can't talk about Prey. That shit makes me mad. But we're talking about something good here, Connor.
Okay, sorry.
So the other gripe that I had was it Stephen Yeun? Yeah, I think it's Stephen Yeun.
Geordie? No, Geordie was the monkey.
Yeah, Geordie was the monkey. But Stephen Yeun, the Asian dude from...
The dude who runs the Star Lasso.
Yes. Yeah. So they talk about his story. They give him some backstory. So he used to be an actor back in the day.
The other cast members got mauled to death by Geordie.
Yes.
Did one of them survive?
He did.
Someone else. There was someone who had
the lady laying on the ground. She survived, and she was the lady at the... You'll see it in the trailer. She had the little veil on and all the messed up face. Okay. So I didn't feel that the Geordie part was necessary. It was a fucking awesome scene. It was masterful. But I didn't feel that it was necessary to tell the story of what we're dealing with. Yes. Right. But talking to Will and going through everything. Like we were going through his, we were just doing it on via text too, and it helped me understand why it was necessary. So the themes of this movie were spectacle versus not spectacle, you know, right. Just like.
And I think, not to cut you off entirely here, but I think if I could hazard a guess at what he would say, it's that Geordi is supposed to be an allegory for Jean Jacket, because Jean Jacket becomes much more threatening when it's made into a spectacle.
Well, we have two different sides of the coin here. We have OJ, who is minimalist. He just lives on the farm. He takes care of the horses. You know, he just lives his life. He's cool with just being the horse rancher dude. That, you know, he doesn't really want to even give the horses for the movies and stuff. That was something that his dad did. But he wants to keep his dad's legacy going. And then you have Steven Yeun, on the other hand, where he's like, dude, I've been in the spectacle. I've been an actor and all this shit, and I want people to see this. I want people to come to pay to see me interact with this thing, like the big spectacle.
Yep.
He helped me understand. Like I got that from just watching the movie, but I never understood why we had to see the Geordi part, like why the monkey tearing up everything was so. But he helped me understand that moment in time was it significant to it's okay when Geordi ripped up everybody,
right?
He locked eyes with him underneath the table, and we were like, oh fuck. Well, we know he survived, obviously, because he's in present day, he's fine. But the monkey was like, oh, you my homeboy, and he like walks over there and about to give him a fist bump, right? Then all of a sudden they shot him. But they shot the monkey. So since he lived through all of that stuff, he's not afraid of beasts and crazy shit anymore.
Things that kill other people don't kill him.
Don't kill him, and he's just like, whatever.
Right.
So he was like, well, I'm gonna make some money off this shit. So he's the opposite of OJ. OJ is like, bro, I don't want to have nothing to do with this thing.
He doesn't want to be perceived.
No.
At all.
He didn't, like, OJ, he couldn't even, like, do his thing with the horses. They were asking him questions when he was bringing a horse for them to add to this commercial, and he couldn't even talk about anything. His sister had to come in and do all the talking, because, you know, she's a mile a minute, talking a mile a minute. She's crazy. She's a good character, though. I think every character in this was cool. Even the Fries dude was all right. I can roll with the Fries dude. Fries Electronics, he was the dude that,
Angel?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was cool because I lived that life. Like, the installer life. Right. Like, that was pretty much the Geek Squad. And I was like, okay, this dude is cool.
And it seemed like he was an interesting character.
He was fine. No issues with him. No issues with any other character. But will help me understand why
the significance of the Geordi event to
the overall story and the themes of the movie, which is great, and that actually boosted the movie up for me just another notch. So the only real gripe that I had was that filmmaker dude. God damn it, it was such a waste. We thought he was going to be a beast, and then he
because they knew looking at it triggered it.
Yeah,
and he runs up directly underneath of it. And yeah.
What the fuck was that for?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even buy them any time. He did nothing. He did nothing. But that movie overall was fantastic. It was suspenseful. Like, you know, it starts out a little slow, but you're getting to know the characters. Right. And I'm okay with that. If we start off slow just to get to know the characters, so when shit hits the fan, we care about them, that's what. Like, I cared about these characters. I didn't want anybody in this bitch to die. Even Steven Yeun, I didn't want him to die.
Does he end up dying?
He does.
He gets sucked up with everyone else? Okay.
Yep. So, I didn't want him to die, but he did. But everything else about that movie was great. And it looked like the camera angles, the cinematography, the visuals of Jean Jacket when it, like, gets its looks like a fucking Pokemon. Yeah. But when it gets its full shape, beautiful. It's so many like sweeping landscape shots. The scene where it spits out all the blood and viscera and ass and spit all over the house. It looked great. You feel like you're there with him. And that's something that I didn't get from either one of his other movies. Get Out may have been the closest,
but it felt more like surreal than like a direct perspective.
Like, yeah, I really felt it in this particular movie. And when we left the theater, I was like, you know what? I'm sorry, Jordan Peele. I talked a hell of a lot of shit about you, bro. But this, you did everything that I complained about. Like you fixed everything.
Yeah, fixed everything.
Like literally fixed everything. From your character writing, like it wasn't even like super woke. You had the themes in it, but you didn't even pay attention to them as the story goes on. Like his sister is a lesbian, and they didn't even like she mentions it, because they're walking in Fry's and she'll look like, looking at the fine lady that walked by.
Right.
It's cool. Everything is fine. They didn't like hone in on it and make sure that you knew that she was a lesbian.
Yeah. So it's important to make the distinction. She is a lesbian that is a character, and not a character that is a lesbian.
Yeah, like she was. Yeah, exactly.
Her identity is not compromised solely of her sexuality.
Because you don't even when shit's hitting the fan, you don't even think about the fact that she's like. But in movies that we watch nowadays, they make sure every fucking moment they have to tell you over and over again. Who cares, bro?
Fucking Valkyrie.
Yeah,
she never shut the fuck up.
Ever. It's like, why does that even matter for the story?
I genuinely think she drops it like 4 times, and if there was a payoff for it, or not even a payoff, but like just a point, I don't know. I didn't get anything from it.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. It was dumb. So, yeah, this movie, great. I loved it. I had fun with it. It had very suspenseful moments. It had like funny, like hilarious ass moments.
It seemed like it'd be a funny movie.
Everything was great. Everything was great. There's a scene where OJ is in the shed. This is at towards the beginning. So things started to get a little weird, and he goes into the shed one night, and it's these 3 like alien looking things in there, but they happen to be Steven Yeun's like kids down the street. So they were effing with him because she stole one of the big horses, like the big unicorn horse looking thing, because they would, anyway. That scene was it felt like it's like, oh shit, because it makes you say, oh shit, like I would fucking bounce out of that thing, but OJ's like, nah, and he takes out his flip phone with the little camera on to try to get some footage, which is hilarious. But the suspense that you're not sure if it's people or if it's part of what we're seeing in the sky, you don't know at this point in time.
Right.
And it builds that, it makes you uneasy. And I love that feeling. When you're watching a movie like that, like a sci-fi horror movie or something like that, you want to have that uneasy feeling because you don't really know what's going to happen next. And sometimes you have things that drop clues, which is fine. But when you have no idea what the hell is up there in the sky and then you see weird shit down here on the ground, it fucks you up. And I love it. Great movie. When you get a chance to see it if you haven't seen it already. I know I'll probably spoil it all if you're listening to this now, but I recommend it still. It's still worth watching because I didn't give everything away.
I recommend watching it because currently there are not enough pirated clips on YouTube for me to get a full picture of what the movie actually looks like. I've been trying to find decent footage of the Star Lasso abduction scene because nobody will shut the fuck up about it, and can't find it.
Oh, that scene was dope. Jordy's scene was probably like if fans say that he's the next Hitchcock and all this stuff, that would be the scene that I would use as a fan to say, if you look at this scene and compare it to some of the greats, his shit matches up, and it fucking does. That scene, the perspective that it's shot in, the sound, because you're sitting in the theater and he's like mauling everybody, so you're seeing it from the perspective of the little boy sitting under the table, and you just hear all the chaos and the screams, and then you see people in the audience, because he fucked up people in the audience too.
Oh shit!
And you'll see like people like looking up to see, like, oh shit, and then they duck back down because they're like, oh, I'm not gonna move because he's gonna fuck me up. And then you see blood everywhere. Dude, it was great. It was such a great scene. So that would be the scene that scene right there raised it up for me. Like, I really was like, you know what, Jordan Peele, when you have because I think he had a separate cinematographer. He wasn't the cinematographer in this one.
Interesting.
He has his own. Like, he's big time now, so he can have this type of shit.
He can delegate.
Yeah, and now Universal Pictures is like, here's some money. Here's $60 million to do this movie.
Has Nope made enough back?
Let's see. Let's take a look and see what.
I also found it interesting that the scene that you're like, it was unnecessary, or you originally felt that it was unnecessary, is the one that you like were like, this scene fucking rocks.
Yeah, but from the grand scheme, like when I was watching the movie, I'm like, okay, so we learned that about him and we saw him, but he doesn't have anything to do with Jean Jacket at all. But it wasn't about Jean Jacket. It's setting up. We learned about OJ because they're the two opposites of the coin.
Right.
So we learned about OJ and his upbringing. So now we need to see why he's about spectacle. And I get it now.
Okay.
That's why I like to talk to Will after these movies, just in case there's something that he'll ask. He like, yo, I hated that part. I'm like, wait. Let me explain. We do that back and forth to each other all the time, and it's great. I don't know if I like that look on your face.
I was just gonna comment about the importance of Native American cultural and significance.
Look, okay, before I look this up, y'all, we were talking about Prey. I came over his crib and we were talking about Prey, and I was. Well, first off, it started off on a text message.
It started off as a text thing.
And I was telling him about Prey. Go ahead.
And he was like, yeah, like it was good, but like I can't get behind like the main character. Like, I just think it's very dumb that, we had Schwarzenegger in the first movie barely scraping by to kill this predator. And this, like, 90-pound soaking wet lady is taking him out without a problem. And I was like, and I go, Native Americans, 1700s, like, and what to them would be like a supernatural creature. And I'm like, I immediately jump into like, well, I think it's cool, like, exploring like the Native American angle and like how they would interact with something like that and how they would treat it differently than like the colonials would. And DV was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, dude, like, we're moving.
You very clearly are not, like, you have no idea what's going on with this. And he explained it to me. I was like, oh, I'm just a moron. Like, I like the setting, so I'm making excuses for it without having any context.
Bruh, it was not even like
out of my
that.
ass. So
it was not even like that at all. So it says that Nope currently sits at $80 million at the box office.
It's not bad.
That's not bad. So it actually did.
It's been out, what, 3 weeks?
Probably a little bit more than that, I feel like. Maybe a month or so now.
Maybe a month.
So, and this was showing like at early August. So I'm assuming it's still at the theaters. So it's
final projections for that won't come out for a while.
Yeah, so
it's good.
As of right now, $80 million.
It's at least made its money back.
Yep, it's made its money back, and you got to add a little bit more for advertising and all that stuff. So it costs a couple million to advertise the whole thing. But Nope was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I will be purchasing it, and I will definitely enjoy that movie when it comes out again. I'll watch it over and over again.
Just like Prey.
Just like Prey. Can Prey. Okay. Next topic. Well, I'll ask you, which one do you want to talk about next?
Okay.
Do you want to talk about Bullet Train next, or do you want to talk about Marvel's Phase 5 and 6?
let's talk about Phase 5 and 6. We'll end with Bullet Train so we can end on a high note rather than an existential fear for the future.
Okay, so all I really wanted to do here...
We've moved out of Phase Bore.
Yeah, we move out of Phase Bore, because the last movie in Phase Bore, I think, is Wakanda Forever. I think that's the last movie in Phase Bore.
And, like, we're not excited about that at all.
No. I feel like it's just exploiting Chadwick Boseman's death, man. It just seems icky. It just seems really icky to me.
Disney really needs to stop puppeteering dead people. I'd really appreciate if they would stop doing that.
But they have, like, the...
Yeah, they've got the technology to do it.
They got the tech.
Fuck me.
They got the tech, man.
Spoiler alert for the new Star Wars trilogy. When they killed off Princess Leia and then immediately had her revive, after it had already been announced that she was dead in real life, I was like, this would have been the perfect exit for her. Like, this is a great off-ramp. She's already a storied hero within the context of the universe. We didn't need her to come because she doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
For the rest of the trilogy because she's fucking dead.
Yeah.
In real life. She can't be of any massive significance. Like, the only thing she does after that is she shoots Poe Dameron.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it. I thought it was so stupid that they didn't, like, let her have the grace of an on-screen death and instead revived her to then puppeteer her for the last movie.
Yep.
I hate something about that feels really wrong to me.
Yeah. And what about the he's part of Vader's group.
Oh, Grand Moff Tarkin?
Yeah, and they brought him back from the dead. Like, that dude's been dead
He's been dead
years.
for a while.
And they just he's in there.
He's in there.
He's in there. And this is what I didn't know on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I didn't realize that wasn't it was James Earl Jones's voice, but he didn't even go into the booth and record it. They use fucking technology with words and they
don't need him anymore.
Fuck. That is so jacked up. Hopefully they're paying this dude. Hopefully they're giving him a cut of that shit, bro. Come on, man.
You gotta hope so, but like,
god damn.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, old James, he's like up there, like 80s and 90s or some shit now. I was like, okay, they got him in the booth, got him to record some lines, and nope. They said, fuck that. We just go throw his voice in a synthesizer and just bloop, 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 type it up what he's going to say. Done and done.
He's had a lot of on-screen performances. He's most noted for his voice roles, but the stuff that I've seen him on screen for, I love him in everything that I've seen. And the two that come to mind are Sneakers, which is kind of a weird
random.
One.
It's random.
My mother used to watch that all the time, and so I used to watch that all the time. Not a great movie for like a 7-year-old, but whatever.
It's fine.
And then Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah,
I love him in both of those.
Dog. They don't even need him anymore, though.
Yeah, they can just the things that he's most known for, you can just pluck that from him.
It's so crazy. So, Phase 5.
I see one good movie there.
So we have the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Oh no, never mind.
Because they're doing now they have Disney Plus stuff mixed into the phase.
Yeah.
So we have Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
I thought that was just Guardians 3. I got really excited.
Nope. It's the Holiday Special on Disney Plus. Then we have What If Season 2, so we can get more stuff.
Historically speaking, holiday specials have not been the forte of Disney and Disney-related properties.
So a Star Wars Holiday Special?
Hey, that's where Boba Fett comes from. That's how we got Boba Fett. If he didn't show up riding a fucking Brontosaurus, we would have never gotten him.
Yeah, wouldn't have. And then we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which rumor has it, my man gonna die.
Yeah.
God damn it. They go kill off Ant-Man. Why the fuck can you go kill off Ant-Man? Why are you gonna kill off Ant-Man? And then have Wasp as like the main. Oh, god damn it. Why are you gonna do that? Why?
Just let characters be characters.
Just let them be characters. And what's what's really going to happen is Cassie is going to take over Ant-Man's spot, and it's going to be Cassie and Hope.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Ant-Man and Wasp. They're just going to be two females from now on. And supposedly MODOK will be in that shit. I heard
MODOK was going to be in there.
Now, MODOK...
He's a goofy fucking villain.
Yes, but his look is fucking weird. Now, how are they gonna MCUify that look?
That would be... There's no situation I can think of that doesn't end up looking horrifying or just really bad.
I'd rather look...
Yeah.
Like, make it look...
Hey, Mufasa, what's up, buddy?
Make it look horrifying.
Come here. Yeah, come here. Come here.
Yeah, let's make that look horrifying. So, another show on Disney Plus is going to be Secret Invasion.
Before we move on from MODOK, there's a guy that I work conventions with that does a really funny MODOK voice.
Oh god!
And he does it like every time I see him, he does it because he knows it cracks me up. He's like, "It's MODOK, bitches!" It's so like he's pitch perfect. It's
Have you seen the show on? I think it's Amazon. It's an animated show.
No shit.
About MODOK. Yeah. Fucking hilarious, bro. It's so MODOK. It's so dumb, but it's great at the same time.
He's a true cartoon villain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how they'll make him not be a joke.
So, all right. So we have Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion is alternate dimension.
Yeah, with the Skrulls invasion of Earth and all that stuff. But the Skrulls are pretty much already here, and
that's already been set up.
And they've been using them, because like in Spider-Man.
No way.
Yeah,
Far From Home.
Far From Home. Yeah, Far From Home.
Far From Home, where Hill and Fury were both Skrulls, and then there was another thing that the Skrulls showed up for. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something else. Yeah, it was one other thing that they showed up for. So they're gonna have the Secret Invasion there. And then we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now this is the one that I'm looking forward to.
So far, that's the only one that I'm like.
Yeah, that one I will have to see. And hopefully James Gunn, like, shoos them, like, whenever he has turrets pointing, like, away from the set. So when they try to come into the doors, he's like, you're not touching me.
I will vaporize you if you touch my script.
If you fuck with this, I'm already over at Warner Brothers. And Warner Brothers loves me. Like, I revived, I completely took from the ashes. People hated it. And I brought the Suicide Squad up from the ashes and brought a Peacemaker show.
Yeah, so I not only took one of your worst like properties and made it something that's iconic and quotable and fun and a box office success, but I took the most hated character from that and made him beloved and gave him his own show.
Yes.
That's how good I am at my job.
Yes. And don't get me wrong now. As far as the Guardians being the Guardians from the comics, they're kind of far from it.
Absolutely.
But it's okay if you change them. You have to change them for the better, though. Like, these are way more likable characters.
Yes.
And more marketable characters. And that's why the Guardians in the comics were like C and D list characters, because they weren't as likable.
No, like they're pretty unlikable most of the time.
Yeah, they're pretty much scoundrels, and and Drax is not the funny. I'm gonna eat really slowly, so I disappear.
Yeah, he's not. Drax. He's not a hyper literal himbo.
No, he's a
cold blooded murderer.
He's a fucking beast.
He literally killed Thanos. Like Thanos, he had. His if you look at his powers as listed, like in the wikis, one of his powers listed is a Thanos killing aura.
Yep. This dude is a beast. So he's not as cool and likable, but James Gunn changed it so that all of these characters could fit in well in the MCU. And I appreciate that. And they're some of my favorite movies in the MCU in the first 3 phases. So looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, here's one that I feel that is completely unnecessary. Echo.
Talk to me about Echo.
So, Echo was a character in Hawkeye. she's deaf.
And Hawkeye was deaf in a number of the runs.
Because he's actually deaf in he wears hearing aids in his show.
Oh.
From all the battles and all that stuff, because he's just a regular dude.
Yeah.
So Hawkeye has definitely been through it. So she made her MCU debut in Hawkeye as a side character villain. She's a female, of course, so she can't be bad. Like, she's on the bad guy side, but they twist it so that she's realizing the errors of her ways, and now she's good.
Right.
She's good now.
Yeah.
She can have a redeeming arc. But poor Hawkeye, he's got to be deaf, missing Christmas with his family, get a little young bitch to take his place. Like, they just fucking him over all the time. He lost his best friend. His best friend's sister is trying to kill him because she thinks that he killed. Just Hawkeye's going through some bullshit. All these bitches around him, and he's just like,
I'm just a guy with a bow.
I'm just a guy with a bow and a loving wife and kids, and I just want to be with them.
I just want to be a dad for a little bit, guys.
I just want to be a dad, man. So Echo she's getting her own show, which I have no idea why. Nobody cares about her.
She's getting her own show?
She's getting her own show, player.
Mufasa, I don't know about that, but yeah, maybe you should come back down here. Maybe that's not a good idea for the boy. Maybe you should just there you go.
So, Echo's getting her own show. And the hook to get people to watch it is that Daredevil is supposed to make an appearance, because Echo is more street level, and that's where Daredevil lives.
Yeah, Daredevil lives on the street.
Kingpin was also in Hawkeye.
Didn't they ruin him, though? Okay,
I know why they ruined him, but it doesn't make it any better. So, Netflix has the rights to... Okay. You know, they own a certain... Like, they own that character as far as the way they look, they act, they sound, so Disney has to change it ever so slightly. But instead of changing it for the better, they changed it for the worse. So he's pretty much trash now. And now I'm afraid Daredevil's going to be the same way. Because Daredevil's supposed to be in She-Hulk also. And they know I don't want to see She-Hulk, but they know Daredevil is my second favorite comic book character of all time. Yeah. So they're like, we know you're going to watch it. Because you're going to see Charlie Cox come in there and be Daredevil again.
So Strange is your third?
Strange is my third.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was 2 for Strange and 3 for Daredevil.
No, Daredevil is my second favorite. The reason Strange has had more media for me to talk about.
That's fair.
So Daredevil is my dude.
You mean you don't want to go into the specifics of the 2001 Ben Affleck Daredevil
I can.
movie?
I can, but I'm not gonna. Because it's
a masterpiece and it speaks for itself.
The Daredevil show was the closest that we've ever gotten to Daredevil, like, being him, like, from the comic.
The Daredevil Bullseye fight was beautiful.
God. Oh my God.
Because again, I don't watch these shows. I just catch up on the clips and stuff. And fuck me, that fight was insane.
Oh man.
Because it was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what these two characters fighting should look like.
Dude, and that whole thing, that whole series, all 3 seasons, was amazing. And then the second season introduced us to
the Defenders.
Punisher.
Oh.
Second season, Punisher was in there. The Defenders had their own season.
I thought they got... everyone got, like, introduced in each other's shows, though.
Mm-mm. You had Daredevil, you had Jessica Jones, you had Luke Cage, you had Iron Fist. The only people that really interacted were Jessica Jones and what's his name?
Iron Fist?
Luke Cage.
Oh.
So they interacted in her first season. Let's see. Daredevil only met the Punisher. I don't think he interacted until the Defenders happened. They didn't really have any interactions that way. But they're people from their shows that filter into others, because Daredevil met a nurse. Rosario Dawson.
Thank you.
Fine as Rosario Dawson. So she's in Daredevil. She's also in Luke Cage. You know, she makes she's like pretty much in all of them. She even meets Punisher at one point. So they all intertwine, but not everybody has interacted with it until Defenders happened. That's why the banter between the two is like, yo, like, who the hell are you? You know, that type of shit. But anyway, so Daredevil's supposed to be in Echo and supposed to be in She-Hulk. So we'll see how that goes. Then we move on to Loki season 2. God damn it! Oh my god! Oh my god!
So Loki's bad.
They're like not good. Not
Loki
looking forward
is
to
not
that.
A good show.
Not looking forward to that. Then we have the Marvel. Hell yeah!
Huh?
So that's Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and like some other people that they want to throw in there. So yeah, of course Samuel L. Jackson. The people are reprising their roles in these movies, but I feel like the rumor has it that they're passing the torch. So like Brie Larson is not going to be Captain Marvel. Like they're just kind of moving her out of the way, and they want Kamala Khan and all them to be the. Then we have Ironheart.
A Captain Marvel with a fucking some glutes would be nice.
as he kisses Mufasa.
I would like a caked up Captain Marvel. That would be nice.
I mean, yeah, I guess that would be nice. They killed off the caked up one though.
I was gonna say.
And Doctor Strange, they smoked her ass.
She was caked up.
They crushed her with a rock,
which is a thing that Captain Marvel is famously weak to. Rocks. Never mind blowing through a spaceship.
Yeah.
Right. Never mind being hit by the Power Stone. No. Falling rocks.
Yeah. She's
lights
trash.
out, dead forever.
So we move on to Ironheart. So Ironheart is gonna make her debut in Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
And she is gonna be the Iron Man replacement.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that goes. So she's getting her own show.
I hope good.
Then we have Blade. I'm a little nervous about that.
I'm real nervous about that.
Because the first two Blade movies were awesome.
Blade Trinity fucks.
It only fucks because it has Triple H in it. Yes. As a huge wrestling fan, I was like,
no. But
DX,
also,
baby!
Also, the fucking Prison Break guy being Dracula, right? And for the record, he has my ideal, like, sword and armor setup.
Okay.
Really heavily armored left shoulder, because that's what you block with. That's where you're... And he's got a really fucking fine-ass sword. Okay. I was like, this rocks. Bad movie.
The movie was awful.
But things that I really enjoyed.
That movie was awful. So we'll see how Blade does with Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Jessica Biel.
She destroyed a camera by shooting it with an arrow.
Yeah.
So fucking funny.
And Wesley Snipes didn't even, like, he was being a complete asshole on that joke. He was a complete asshole in the making of that damn movie. So that movie lives in infamy.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not my favorite. Blade 2 is my personal favorite.
Oh, I mean, Blade 2 is the best one.
Blade 2 is so good.
Fucking Donnie Yen, before anyone over here knew who he was.
So good.
They cast a Chinese dude as a samurai because that's just what you do, I guess.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
All right, so we move on from Blade. Mahershala Ali is supposed to be playing Blade, for those of you who don't know.
He looks the part.
Oh, yeah, he should be fine.
But
everything else around him, that's the fucked up thing.
Is he a great actor?
And I think he will be dope as Blade. I just think that they're going to nerf Blade, and he's not going to be as cool, and he's not going to be violent. It's not going to be...
Well, he's also going to have a Daywalker sidekick who's a female who's way stronger than he is.
Way better.
It's going to be like his daughter or something.
Way better.
Way cooler than him. Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
Then we move on to Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Why the fuck are we getting an Agatha show?
Agatha?
Yeah, from WandaVision. Damn. Why the fuck are we getting an Agatha show?
Isn't that the only thing she was in?
Yeah. Agatha Harkness, yeah.
Like, why do we care about that?
Why do we give a fuck? Why do we even care? Why are they going to waste the money on this show?
Where's the Silver Surfer show? Where's that?
Well, he was in, you remember Silver Surfer was in the awesome movie back in the day with Fantastic Four. Yeah. Like, I guess that's all we got.
I would take a Gambit television show.
Yeah, he was in the Wolverine movie.
It was.
Come on, that's all you need. That's all you need.
You know what? You're right. Unironically, who needs their own show? Fucking Jessica Frost.
The chick from X-Men that was played by January Jones and the other ones.
She's a cool ass X-Men character. I like her.
She is.
If you're gonna pull up bullshit like Echo,
yeah, no, I know.
Give me a fourth string character that actually
would
shit. Be interesting,
and that's watch. A female because they love female.
I've got no problem with female characters. I have a problem with poorly written and poorly acted.
90% of them are poorly written. I would say 95% nowadays, like in this realm.
Yeah,
they're poorly written, and they make you hate them.
Mandalorian, great female characters.
Gina Carano, but they hate her ass though.
Yeah, but like
they hate her ass though.
She kind of brought that on herself. I mean, it's a shame though, because it does look to be a legitimately good actor. Like,
and she's like a like legit badass.
Yeah, like she was a delight to watch, and the whole time I was just like, I remember her getting canceled on Twitter. Like the whole time I was watching, I was like, I'm not gonna see her for super long, am I?
She is badass.
Yeah, she seems really cool.
Like I think she's cooler than Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey doesn't have much of a personality though. Like,
she does.
Hey, Mufasa. Hey, bud. Get out.
All right, so we have X-Men '97, which they're bringing the cartoon back, but they're updating it and setting it in the 90s, 97, So, our classic one that we love, that the world loves that show.
Yep.
The Spider-Man show from the 90s, untouchable. Batman the Animated Series, untouchable. These are things that need to be preserved for generations to see.
I really liked the Superman Animated Series.
The Justice League one. Justice League and then Justice League Unlimited. God damn, they gave us Booster Gold, bro. And Skeets. Booster Gold is any show with Booster Gold in it is amazing.
It was so funny, like learning about Booster Gold, like through that. And then I played like DC Universe Online when it first released, and Booster Gold is like your like tutorial person. And I was like, I actually know who this is now. Like having context for this makes this, because his name is fucking stupid if you have no idea who he is.
And Booster Gold will probably never show up in anything now because he's the bro dude. Yeah. He's like
he is the frat bro.
He is 100%. But that's what makes him so lovable and likable because he is, but he means well. He's not an asshole.
Well, it's weird that he's not showing up because he is the quintessential himbo, and the himbo is an archetype that is very much in vogue right now.
Well, yeah.
Like, big, burly dude who's, like, dumb and well-meaning. That's why everyone loves Drax.
Yeah.
Like, Drax is a himbo character.
You're right. You are absolutely correct. So, they're going to take the 90s X-Men cartoon, and this time Magneto will be in charge of the X-Men team. So, we're going to see how that goes.
Why? I remember that there was a period in time in which Professor X and Magneto worked together. But I also remember that they split off because Professor X was like, hey, I'm going to make an academy where we teach them how to coexist. And Magneto was like, that's dumb. I'm going to teach them how to kill people. So that's a pretty like harsh philosophical divide there.
We'll see, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm Professor Magneto. Oh, you talk shit to me, I'm tearing all your cavities out.
Yep.
Like, I don't
know how that's going to be. I'm going to have to watch that. That will be one I will watch out of curiosity.
Interesting.
Because I want to see what they do
with it,
because it's animated, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Then we have Captain America: New World Order, NWO for life. New World Order.
So who's at the head of that?
You know who Cap is. Falcon.
Okay, gotcha.
Falcon is Cap.
I didn't watch the show.
Oh well,
good to know.
Falcon tokenized. He's tokenized Cap. So
he did seem like the right choice for it.
Or we could just let Cap die. man.
No, but America needs the shield.
Sam gave it away.
Did. And then they gave it to roided out Captain America, who murdered a man in broad daylight.
They gave it to a war hero, Captain America, who had PTSD because he was still in it. That's what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
Like, that's the fucked up thing about it. Like, they gave it to someone who clearly is not mentally
stable.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they shit all over him. And it's like, bro, I'm struggling. Matter of fact, you run a group that helps people like me. And why are you shitting on me right now?
Yeah.
Like, that was your whole thing. You were supposed to be cool and running this group for people.
For veterans.
You're supposed to recognize the symptoms and say, hey, let's talk about this.
Help.
Yeah, let's talk about this, man. I'll help you be Cap since I fucked up and gave the shield away. Now that you're Cap, let me help you through it. But in turn, they were like, nah, this dude is trash. I want my shield back. Even, it's stupid shit. Fuck that show. Fuck that show. And fuck this Captain America movie. And then we have Daredevil Born Again, which Daredevil's getting another season. But it's kind of a reboot. And it's going off the Born Again story arc that he had in the comics. Which is probably one of the best. I would say Born Again, Father, those probably rank really high on my list of the like story arcs that he's had. And I'm pretty sure they're going to fuck that up. And
I was going to say
18 episodes. He's getting 18 episodes.
Jesus Christ.
For this.
And they normally go like, what, 45 minutes? Something like that?
Yeah, his are usually like 45 minutes. So I don't know how that's going to be. I'm pretty sure they're going to fuck him up. And it's going to hurt my feelings. It's going to hurt my
feelings.
They're
going to bring back Colin Farrell as Bullseye. He'd be so good. He'd be so good. What my favorite part about Bullseye is that Colin Farrell is Irish and somehow made it sound like he was doing a fake Irish
he was doing a fake accent.
So fucking funny. Like,
so trash, bro.
Yeah.
God. Okay, I will admit though, I have the Daredevil director's cut, and the director's cut fills in the gaps of like bullshit. Like you're like, how did it switch from that? It fills in all the gaps, and it has like little side stories. Like Coolio has a side story in there too. Matt Murdock is actually defending Coolio, and dude, it's much better. It's by no means a great movie, but it's way better than what we got in the theaters. And then we have the Thunderbolts.
Also, Michael Clarke Duncan, untouchable as Kingpin.
Bruh.
First of all, Michael Clarke Duncan, untouchable as whatever the fuck he ever put on screen.
Bruh.
Goddamn legend.
So,
taken way too soon.
I remember when that came out and we saw him in the trailer for it and he was playing Kingpin. And everybody looked at me like, what do you think? Like, you're the Daredevil guy. What do you think? And I'm like, I think it's going to be fine because they didn't do it just to do it.
Right.
They did it because he fit the build and style and everything they needed to fill out the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Without work. They didn't have to work on him.
Yeah,
he didn't have to gain weight or anything.
Hey, Michael Duncan, can you come in and be really goddamn scary for us
and
for
smoke
a bit?
Cigar, puff a cigar, like with a close up, and let's see how this looks. They like, you're hired.
Name a bad Michael Clarke Duncan movie.
I can't really name a bad
Scorpion King with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Banger. Absolute banger start to finish.
He was fine in it.
He's fine in everything.
Yeah.
The Slammin' Salmon. Made that movie. Many times.
That wasn't even in my...
Dude, he's so fucking funny. He's... the way he delivers so confidently the wrong answer so many times in the movie.
Yep.
I love him so much.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Green Mile. That's the one that everyone knows him for, I think.
Yeah.
But Sin City?
Yeah.
And he was basically just playing like a pre-Kingpin. Even though this was after. It felt like that could have been a character that ended up being the Kingpin.
Dog.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. He was great.
Yeah, he definitely... People bring that up to me when I'm like, why are they changing races and stuff? Like, why are they doing this now? And they're like, well, they did it for Daredevil. No. They found a person who fit the mold. He just happened to be a black man. Yep. He could have been white, and with the same build and the same acting skills, and they say you're perfect for it. He was just perfect for that role, and you cannot tell me that he was not perfect for that role. There are people now that they do the race swaps and gender swaps that are not perfect for that role. They do it to check a box. That's all they do it for. So this was way before like any of this crazy shit going on, and he was perfect for that role. He was like the highlight of that movie.
He was genuinely terrifying, because this was, again, in the era of comic book movies, but before we had the good Batmans. Not the good the Nolan Batmans.
Yeah.
So, like, you didn't have, like, a terrifying on-screen presence like Scarecrow or the Joker. Like, you weren't really used to seeing that in a comic book movie. They were usually very cartoony. He was just mean. Like, just a mean son of a bitch. And him choking out his security guard when his security guards are fucking huge. And he's just like, ah! Just, it's so good.
It's so good,
It's
man.
so good. And, like,
it's so
good. I think, that he was one of the best depictions of a comic book villain that I've seen.
I agree. So, moving on there, we have Thunderbolts. They're going to make a show about that.
The fuck are the Thunderbolts?
The Thunderbolts, they have... Okay, so it's almost like the Suicide Squad of... Like, the show's going to be almost like the Suicide Squad of the MCU, because they have a U.S. Agent, which everybody hates, because that's the Cap that was given the shield and taken away, and now he's U.S. Agent now. You're going to have Baron Zemo. He's going to be part of the team. So it's going to follow a bunch of villains. So now they're going to have Bullseye. Bullseye is going to be the Hawkeye of that group. So they're a group of villains who do stuff. So we'll see how that turns out.
Wasn't that supposed to be what the Sinister Six were?
Yes, but the Sinister Six wasn't like the Suicide Squad. They,
they were just like a lovable evil dudes.
Like a lovable group.
No, they were just
these were just asshole dudes trying to kill Spider-Man. Is what they're.
I wouldn't really call Zemo lovable.
In the MCU, made him lovable. You gotta watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They made him lovable. They did. He was dancing in the club, and he was doing stuff. He was doing funny stuff, and like when the ladies came in.
It's so zany, the war crimes that I have done.
Dude, I'm telling you, watch the clips, because he became a meme. When that show came out, Baron Zemo
I do remember
became
seeing
a meme.
The dancing clips, yeah.
And all his little funny little facial expressions, like he was the comic relief in that group.
An actual war criminal.
Yeah. The dude that is supposed to be wearing the purple mask, and you never see his face, and he's supposed to be fucking shit up, is a comic relief character. Like, he's a lovable dude now. Like, you look forward to his comedy whenever you see him on screen.
That actor, I only ever recall ever seeing him in one other thing, and he was phenomenal in that too. Remember what he was in? Glorious Bastards.
Oh, yeah,
he was the sniper guy that was hitting on the theater owner.
Yeah, so, I mean, look.
He plays good bad guy.
And now he's comic relief. So then we move on to, they're supposed to be doing a Fantastic Four movie. So this is slated for 2024.
Sorry, so this is the third try for a Fantastic Four movie?
Third try. And we just watched Reed Richards get ripped apart.
Yes, we did.
We watched him get ripped apart.
We watched the smartest man alive telegraph his whole game plan to an intergalactic, like, interdimensional witch to narrate everything he was going to do before he did it with no backup plan. Right? What is he going to do? Punch him with a noodle? Like what's the plan?
Yep. So they're going to do that one again. Not too many things have been known about this one. It's just in the release schedule. Yeah. John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man movies, was supposed to direct this one, which I got excited about.
The new Spider-Man movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got excited about it because his style would fit pretty well with it.
I agree.
But he stepped down. And I think I know why. I will put money on this shit that he had an idea of what he wanted, and they said, no. We want Sue Storm to be black. We want Reed Richards to be white. We want what's his name? Human Torch to be a female. Yep. Like and we want Ben Grimm to also be a female or transgender or something of that nature. And he was like, that's not
what the Fantastic
Four. That's not the Fantastic Four at all.
That you could have another team that is something, the Fabulous Four. Right?
But this is not the Fantastic Four. This is not Marvel's first family.
Right.
This is the Fantastic Four has a deep lineage. Like, they are some of the originators. But whatever. Then we have, God, it just goes on and goes on and on and
That's
on.
a lot of shit.
Just a few. We're going to go through them real quick. Spider-Man Freshman Year is a Disney Plus show. So I think this one is...
Animated?
I think this was... No. Yeah, it is animated. It's animated. It is animated. So this is supposed to be his first year of high school before he makes his appearance in Captain America Civil War. And Charlie Cox is supposed to show up as Daredevil. I don't know how, because he only meets him when he's in Continuity Be Damned. Yeah. They don't give a shit. Then we have Marvel Zombies. They're supposed to have a Disney Plus show about that.
Okay.
Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. So Kang is supposed to be the overarching villain for these next phases. And then we're supposed to have Avengers Secret War. So they're going to split it up like they did Infinity War and Endgame, which is not going to be the same. Then we can move on to Shang-Chi 2, Armored Wars, Deadpool 3, What If, Season 3.
I didn't know there was a Season 2.
Season 2, I talked about that earlier because it's in the next phase. So
Okay.
that's a phase 6 thing. So that's the whole shebang there. This is going to be trash.
There's 3 things in there that I'd be like, yeah, this might be fun. Shang-Chi 2.
Possibly.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Deadpool.
So nervous about Deadpool, bruh.
Like, that's really low on my third list. God. Because,
I almost don't.
Because this will be the first one under direct Disney helmship, correct?
Yeah. Because the last 2 were Fox.
Yeah.
God damn. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's Marvel's phases 5 and 6. So we'll see how that all turns out. We still got to get through November, which has Wakanda Forever in it. That's when that comes out. So I'm gonna go see it. I have to go see it.
People on Facebook will take your race card away.
They will. They've already tried to take my race card.
They tried to take it away for your views on the first one.
Yeah.
But if you miss this one,
I'm gonna go see it because I have to be part of the shitstorm so I can talk about it. Pretty much for this show and my channel also. That's mainly the real reason why. I'm not gonna watch She-Hulk. I'm not gonna watch all of these other Marvel shows. I'm gonna watch the '97 X-Men though.
Can I make you a bet?
What's that?
During Wakanda Forever, there will be no less than 3 applause breaks.
Like, they purposefully stop the action for people. Oh God! Oh
3.
God!
3.
Okay, when do you think they're gonna be?
First time Chadwick Boseman shows up on screen.
When Disney does their weird CG thing.
When
Shuri becomes Black Panther?
Yes.
For the first time?
Yep. And then the last one will be when
Killmonger shows up? No, I'm joking.
No, when T'Challa dies.
I don't even know do you think they're gonna show T'Challa die? You think they gonna show him get murked?
They should.
Because apparently supposedly he's dying from a disease. What they're saying in the from things that I've read. Anyway, he's supposed to die from a disease, and it's supposed to be off screen. Like, we're not gonna see him actually kick the bucket, and it's probably gonna open up with the funeral. It's my guess. Because I'm telling you, that funeral is gonna last forever. That's a big deal.
I think it's gonna be 2 minutes.
They just go as long as the trailer is.
Mm-hmm. They'll cart him out.
They gonna have the one on the shoulder, the gif with the dudes. The gif with the dudes dance.
So fucking funny.
I love that gif. That's one of my favorite gifs. I use that shit for everything.
I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, no, I think it'll be anywhere between 2 and 5 minutes. They'll be they gotta show all the characters from the first movie mourning him, right? Everyone's gotta say their cool one-liner, right? He's gonna be like, "Don't freeze," and it's gonna 100%. It's gonna be a bunch of stupid like callback one-liners. And so like, all right, well. Anyways, back to the part where we make a new Black Panther. Because we have all those flowers, remember? Remember how we didn't burn them all in the first movie?
You know what? They're going to do some dumb shit like that. We clearly saw all those shit get burned.
Yep, that was a big plot point in the first two. Like a huge... Like, you could say like, the most important
Killmonger made sure all those shits were burned.
Uh-huh. But, hey, we held on to one just in case. Yeah, no, you know that stupid shit is coming. It's not gonna be fun. I will be very surprised if it is even average. I'm expecting bad things. I'm expecting rank disrespect.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Disney loves puppeteering dead people. Even when it makes no sense to do so.
They do. They love it.
Grand Moff Tarkin could have been an off-screen voice. He could have shown up on like a little hollow image. Having close-ups of him.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. When I first saw that in the theater, I'm like, that dude's been dead for a long time. A long time.
Yeah, and when Leia fucking opens her eyes up in space, not a great thing to do. And then just like drifts back into the ship. I was like, dog, you literally had it. You had it. You had a good narrative moment. Kylo Ren not being able to make the decision, finally making the decision, being reluctant about it, thinks he killed his mom, should have killed his mom.
He already smoked his dad.
You know? It would have been a good narrative point. And then having, you know, because they don't mind puppeteering dead people, they could have had them both show up as like Force ghosts to him. When he has that moment where he throws the saber into it. Could have had both of them show up. Nope.
Jeez.
Nope. Let's puppeteer dead people. Hey, Disney, when I die, I do not give you permission to puppeteer me. Okay? My corpse, I want it to stay unanimated.
Yeah, that I would feel the same. I don't want Disney to have any rights to puppeteer me at all.
Can't have Mufasa either. I retain the rights to both myself and my cat. Even though I stole his name from you, that does not give you the right to animate my dead cat.
Man. But that's how it is now. Very last thing, Bullet Train. Everybody should go see it. One of the best movies of the year. I knew the trailer when I saw the trailers that it was going to be awesome. Cast is stellar.
I liked all the trailers I saw. Everything about it was like, this looks like a fun movie.
Yep. Cast is stellar. The action is great. The storyline is simple yet effective. And everybody's intertwining. And, you know, it's perfect. Perfect movie. I had a blast watching it. It was really good. So if you get an opportunity to see it, you should go see it, whether it's at the theater or I prefer you go to the theater. I'm all about supporting the theaters, but if you have to wait till it comes out on streaming or whatever, do it then. But it should be watched by everyone. It's that good. It's fun, hilarious. Brad Pitt is just great. Like that dude, he's another one that I don't feel he does a bad job in any of his movies. Even if the movie is not that great.
Right. He's usually still great. Committed to doing
like, something. I'm not a big fan of Read After Burning, but I watched that like 3 or 4 times because his character was so hilarious. Yes. He was great.
Read After Burning is a really weird movie.
It is very weird.
But I like it because I've dealt with a lot of government bureaucracy in the jobs that I've held. And it's really accurate to how, like, that chain of command, like, information passing. Every scene with fucking, help me out here, the chief. Yeah. Every scene with him fucking cracks me up because they're just like, he comes up and he's like, yeah, like 3 people died. He's like, okay, so problem solved, right? Like, I don't understand why you're talking to me about this. It's such good, like, representation of bureaucratic level
Brad Pitt he's dope,
great,
man. He's good. So I knew it was gonna be great. He's in it. There's a bunch of people that I want to shout out real quick. Get back to my list.
The Japanese actor, like the big
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Thank you.
He plays the Elder.
Yes, he played one of my favorite characters in The Last Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
He played. He was Scorpion most recently in Mortal Kombat. He's just great.
He's a badass dude.
He's a fucking treat to watch.
He's a badass dude. So this movie had a $90 million budget.
God damn.
So it has Brad Pitt. He plays Ladybug. That's his code name.
$90 million doesn't feel that high.
No, because I'm pretty sure Brad Pitt was like 80 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
He takes up a big chunk of that right there. We have Joey King as her code name was Prince. We have Aaron Taylor Johnson as Tangerine. He played Quicksilver in he was Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. He was also the protagonist in the Godzilla reboot that came out in 2014. We have Brian Tyree Henry. He plays Lemon. He is from Eternals. He plays Festus in Eternals, and he's also in Atlanta. Was where I knew him from, the show Atlanta.
Yeah.
Man, he was hilarious in Atlanta. Like, he played like a hardcore drug dealing dude, but then when you see him in other roles, he's nothing like that at all. But he's so Aaron Taylor Johnson, Tangerine, and Brian Tyree Henry, Lemon, are the twins. And they're clearly not twins. And Brad Pitt has to point it out every time. Every time Sandra Bullock, she plays Maria. She's the lady on the phone. They show her in the trailer. So it's not giving anything away.
I didn't notice her in the trailers.
Yeah, she's in the trailer. So she's the voice in his, he's on the phone with her a lot. And she keeps saying the twins. He was like, I don't think they're twins. So it's a running joke. So everybody points out, not sure if they're twins.
I don't know if they're twins or not.
They show why they call them the twins, and they show a little bit of their backstory. Each person gets a few moments of backstory, so you'll know why they're on the train, which I love. I love movies like that. This is actually a remake, by the way. This is an American remake. There's a Bullet Train, a Japanese movie, Bullet Train. Same premise and everything. So we stole it, just like we did The Grudge, and just like we did The Ring, and various other movies that we just steal and move them over.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars definitely was.
It's just a Kurosawa movie.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But George Lucas is not afraid to say, yeah. I mean, that's
all the spaghetti westerns with Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, all them shit stolen.
All of them.
So this one is just a remake of a Japanese movie by the same name. We have Sandra Bullock. She plays Maria. We have Andrew Koji, who is Storm Shadow from the G.I. Joe movies and the what's the name of that shit? The Snake Eyes. That movie. We have Michael Shannon. He plays the White Death. He's the antagonist. Bruh.
Michael Shannon is
the
so
shit.
Good.
He's the shit. And we have Bad Bunny, my man Bad Bunny in there.
I remember you saying that you really liked him in this.
He was amazing in this. And he didn't have very many lines, but his story, his fight scene with Brad Pitt was great. Like, his backstory and why he's on the train, and then you see all these other people intertwined with that story. Excellent shit. And then my girl Zazie Beetz. She's so fine. She plays the Hornet. So she's almost like Dr. Poison in the Wonder Woman series. Yeah. Like she reminds me of Dr. Poison, because that's her specialty. She poisons you or sets up, stuff like
booby
that.
Traps and things like that.
Awesome. Dude. I know you don't watch very many movies, but you do need to.
I do plan on seeing that. I don't know if I'll see it in theater, but I am going to see it.
It shit's awesome. Matter of fact, when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm about the 4K. We should just have a movie night.
We should.
Fuck it. We just do a movie night. It's great. So this movie was directed by David Licht. I had to look it up on how they pronounce it. It is pronounced Licht.
L-I-C-T-H?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he directed Hobbs and Shaw, Deadpool 2, and Atomic Blonde.
Oh.
So that will give you an idea. And I chose those three. I don't know if you've seen Hobbs and Shaw.
I haven't, but
but I wanted to give you an idea because I knew I will be saying to our viewers and I will be saying it to you also at the same time.
I know the choreography was good.
Yeah, so like the action in Deadpool 2, like think of the action of Atomic Blonde. I don't know if you've seen Atomic Blonde.
I haven't, but I've watched a lot of fight scenes from that because it's commonly broken down on like, this is how you do a fight scene correctly.
Yep.
Because here's like the staircase fight.
And see, what I like about his choreography and his action scenes is, especially with Atomic Blonde, she's a woman. She's not as strong as the dude she's fighting. She has to use other means to get the best of them, but she does.
Yes.
She's not like lifting them over her head, throwing them down the steps.
She's not doing like big suplexes and stuff.
Dude, she worked hard for that fight.
Yes, she did. The staircase fight.
That is
like, it's
amazing.
So good because they are manhandling her the entire time. And every time she's like, well, this is how I got to deal with this problem.
Got to deal with it.
Yeah, and I love intelligent fight scenes like that.
Yes.
That treat the viewer with enough respect to go, here's a good idea.
Yep. So
you're like, hey, that's what I would do.
These are a mix of Atomic Blonde fights and a little bit of Hobbs and Shaw fights.
Okay.
So this movie is a combination of mystery, caper, those old school caper movies.
Yeah.
But the action is just enough over the top to be hilarious at certain points. Like they want it to be funny. Certain things that happen, they want it to be funny, but they also want you to they want it to feel like they're really fighting. Like the Bad Bunny fight is absolutely one of my favorites. And Bad Bunny, shout out to Bad Bunny. He's guest starred in WWE and he's done great. He's been phenomenal. So the dude can scrap. He could scrap. Like I wouldn't mess with Bad Bunny in the streets. So he did a great job in this movie. Probably one of my favorite characters overall. Just, not the main characters, because of course Ladybug, Brad Pitt is going to be. He's like he is the best though. Yeah. But Lemon and Tangerine are awesome. But I think the Wolf his backstory was my favorite, my personal favorite. He's Bad Bunny.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the Bad Bunny is the actual person, and then the Wolf is his character. And so that's everybody should watch that movie. You should watch it too when it comes out. It's great.
I will.
And that's all I wanted to say about that. It's excellent. I have a review on my channel, unscripted review, so you can I go into in depth a little bit about it. I try not to do too much because I don't want to spoil everything. But check it out there if you want more information. But I will tell you here, this thing is awesome. It is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So that's all I had for the past couple of weeks.
Well, I don't know if I can trust DV's opinion on what makes a good movie because of his opinions about Prey.
Because I hate the Native Americans. Is that what it is? I feel like the Native Americans are trash.
It's because you're racist. God. That's what it boils down to. Not any weaknesses in the film storytelling
or the fact that a 98-pound Native American with sticks took out a 350-pound, 6'7" alien with targeting technology. Whatever. I'm not going to get into it because
we're not going to get into it?
It's going to piss me off. No, we're not going to get into it.
Fair enough.
That may be for a whole. I would have to have a whole episode of that shit. I can't. You remember I was here and I stayed an hour. I was supposed to be leaving and I stayed a whole hour just talking about that bullshit. No.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure getting back in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll go back to our normal weekly schedule. Yeah. Now that I've decided to stop dying with such frequency. But yeah. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Yeah. And hopefully you like the way it looks.
Yeah.
We got a different setup, so
a little bit different.
We're gonna try to see if you like this and how it turns out. So far, looking at the monitor itself, I think it looks great.
It looks real crispy.
But we'll see.
We'll have to see how it all turns out.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, that's it for me. So thank you for listening to me ramble on for probably 2 hours.
Yeah, just about. And again, all I did was die and play Skyrim. That's about all I had time for. So yeah, we'll be back next week with an episode maybe on Prey to go into the deep and intricate details of what a masterful storytelling about the Native American culture the movie represents. Maybe that'll be it, or maybe it'll be something that won't piss us both off.
God damn.
So thank you all so much.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.